We're in the land of no, so I'd have to say no. You work for the post office?
Yeah.
Are you a supervisor?
Yep. Do you have like a concern as a citizen that somebody's going to trespass on here?
I got to find somebody that cares about what's going on here.
Okay. Good luck with that.
No filming in here, gentlemen.
Sorry?
No filming in the post office.
Oh, sure there is.
No, there's not.
Yeah, there is.
I'm sorry. No filming in the federal building.
You're incorrect.
I'm sorry.
Is
You're
your-
correct. Please leave.
How's it going, guys? Amagansett Press, and we are coming to you today from Billings, Montana. We are at one of the post offices here in Billings, Montana, and just gonna pay a little visit on these folks and find out if they honor and respect our right to take video and photographs in public and from publicly accessible areas or public places. I am out with watching the Watchmen today, and let me give you a little view of the neighborhood here. And while I'm doing that, time and temperature check. Today is Thursday, February 11th. It is 2:59 in the afternoon and 43 degrees and sunny in Billings, Montana. There's a Walmart right across the street. And let's go take a look. How you doing today, Watchman? Ready to go over there and check it out?
Yeah.
Cool. Always like to take a moment to recognize Old Glory, waving in the breeze, as she should. POW MIA, not forgotten, never forget. So this is the Ronald Reagan station. All right, so we have a masks are recommended sign here.
Nice, recommended.
Yeah, and I don't see any others. Really? Well, you know you're in a little better side of Billings here then.
Yeah.
Downtown Billings Post Office closes at 6 o'clock sharp.
Oh, the retail hours are 9 to 5:30.
Cool. And what I say it was 3 o'clock?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna try to stay in the sun a little bit here. It is. We're out here suffering for you guys.
Probably going to those cars.
You think?
Yeah.
Could be. Is this yours?
It is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're okay.
Give you some room there.
Oh, you're good. I gotta get her in first.
There you go.
What are you doing?
Oh, we're just taking a little video.
Oh, okay.
Interesting times we live in.
Right?
Yeah.
Wyoming.
No, you know what? I'll tell you what we're doing, because you know how recently they just dropped the mask order in Minnesota, so things are starting to open up a little bit. So we're just doing a little story about how things are progressing and what the actual reality is of what's going on the street, not what you hear on the news.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah. But keep that beautiful smile on your face. It'll take you places.
It's taking me so far.
There you go.
Thank you.
No, thank you. You have a wonderful day. Take care. And you guys that are doing the auditing thing out there, if you pick your cameras up and you go out and this is what you do, even in regular life, nothing to do with auditing, do old AP a personal favor and be nice to the old folks. Give them a little extra room. Oh, let's go see what's going on with the parking lot back there. So let's give you a look at the employee parking back here and possibly their loading dock. What's interesting is the sign here just says U.S.P.S. property no. Yep. It doesn't say what is not allowed. I've seen that a lot. You know, they fade. They fade, and evidently, I don't know, maybe this was, that's weird. That looks like it was removed. But it happens a lot. And this, so what you got is a wide open gate, and it just says no. Interesting. Good, how you doing?
Good. Anything I can help you with? Or?
Well, we're in the land of no, so I'd have to say no.
We're in the land of no?
Yeah, what does that mean? USPS
supposed
property.
to say no trespassing.
We got to get that fixed.
Yeah.
Wide open gate, and there's no trespassing sign. Anybody could just walk in.
Yeah. Yeah.
You work for the post office?
Yeah.
Are you a supervisor?
Yep.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. My name's Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Ask your name?
Thor.
Thor. That's a cool name. Very cool. So since I'm speaking with a supervisor, now I'm going to hold you to it. We got to get that fixed.
Yeah.
Right? That's a liability situation. That could create a serious issue for somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have like a concern as a citizen that somebody's going to trespass on here?
I have a common sense concern.
Oh.
Right? I don't know. Don't you agree with me that that's something that should be repaired? I'm not saying it's a life-threatening emergency, but I think it should be fixed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Well, maybe that's why it's not fixed, because you're not too concerned with it. Right?
No.
So.
Yeah.
All right, well, maybe
we don't really have a problem with it, so.
Well, until you do.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
that's why people have insurance. You don't have a problem with crashing your car, but when you do, you're glad you have the insurance.
It's been good talking to you.
Well, I wish I could say the same, but I'll go try to find your postmaster and speak to him. I got to find somebody that cares about what's going on here.
Okay. Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that. Do you hear what you just said? Good luck finding somebody that cares what's going on at the post office. That's classic. Wow. Salute to you, man. At least you're honest.
Wow.
Wow. I literally just said to that guy, we got to go find somebody that cares, that we can talk to, and he said, good luck with that.
Yeah.
All right, so again, quick review. No signs on the door about anything except recommended on the mask sign. Oh, how rude of me.
Thank you.
Yeah. So typical post office box area back here. You ever notice how there's never a postmaster? Well, I shouldn't say never. There's hardly ever a postmaster at the post office. Like, where do they go when they're not here?
Yeah.
Is there like some postal convention center?
There's no filming in here, gentlemen.
Sorry?
No filming in the post office.
Oh, sure there is.
No, there's not.
Yeah, there is.
I'm sorry. No filming in the federal building.
You're incorrect.
I'm sorry.
Is
You're
your-
correct. Please leave.
Is your postmaster here?
No, we don't have a postmaster.
She said yes, you said no. You don't have a postmaster?
We don't. We have a station manager, sir. And
Who's that, Thor?
I'm sorry. What?
Is Thor your station manager?
No, he is not.
Well, he just told me he was outside.
He is one of our carrier supervisors.
Oh, he's a supervisor, okay. So is there a...
No filming in the
Is there a
post office.
station manager? Sir, stop yelling at me about things you don't know what you're talking about. Is there a station manager available?
I would disagree wholeheartedly, and please leave.
Okay, is there a station manager available for the 5th time?
Sir, let me finish with my customer.
Oh, you started the conversation. Sorry to bother you. Wow.
I'm sorry to interrupt, ma'am. You're making our customers uncomfortable.
No, you're making your customer uncomfortable by screaming the way you did.
You are the one using your loud voice and screaming. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Can you please blur my face out of there because I have
Mine too, like,
Yeah, okay. See how one person starts a mess? I'll speak to your station manager, please. Thank you.
I'll just get the police.
You can get the police. You can get anybody you want. So you're not going to get the station manager for me. Is that what you're telling me?
Sir, I'm not doing anything other than helping this nice young lady right here.
Okay. So we'll wait online until you're done.
That is fine. You're more than welcome.
Thank you.
Please
Appreciate
turn
that.
off the cameras though, because that is not allowed.
It is allowed. It's expressly written on your wall under your rules of conduct. It's poster 7.
Can I help you with anything else?
Yeah, I just wanted to, I had a very simple question for your station manager.
I don't want to be on film, no.
Well, then how are you going to help me? Because I'm filming.
Okay, well, I don't want to be on film.
Well, then you have to get a job in the private sector, ma'am. You're in public. You're a public employee.
Okay, I'm done.
I'm not asking to speak to you. I'm looking for a station manager. Are you the station manager? You are. Are you sure? Because Thor told me he was the station manager and he's not. So I just want to make sure I'm speaking to somebody who's actually the station manager.
Yeah, but I won't talk to you if you're recording me.
You won't talk to me if I'm recording? Why, is photography forbidden here in the poster? It's not.
Be on it.
It's not. Did you ever read your poster 7, which is the rules of conduct on postal property?
What can I help you with?
All right, I have a question for you about your signage outside. We're here doing an inspection of government signage. So I have a question about your signage outside, which I discussed with Thor, but Thor didn't think he was interested in hearing about it. So I said, I'll go inside and look for a station manager, and that's why I'm here.
Okay.
So does anybody want to take a look at the sign outside your employee parking lot, which is creating a problem for you?
I'll go look at it.
Okay, so I'll meet you out there.
I'll just go look at it.
You want me to wait for you here then? Okay. It's at the entrance gate.
This is the one.
She didn't even ask what the problem is.
No, she didn't.
Ohio, and this is the other one over Ohio here and Ohio there, yeah.
No, she told me to wait right here.
There we go.
That's what I'll do. What's his name? Matt. Very good.
Ever hear that they have received this?
So you're gonna need to go online to check that. You'll be able to use your tracking number online. You have $2 back there.
I do not.
And your tracking numbers are right at the top, survey on the bottom for us. Have a beautiful. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Hello there. Hi. What can I do for you today?
Yeah, let me ask you, do you supervise, please?
Yeah, what do we got going on?
Would you like to supervise?
No, but I have.
Another guy. And ma'am, we're not here for any nefarious activity. Don't be upset about anything.
Your loud voice threatens me.
I'll tell you what I'm doing here if you're interested.
No, I do not want to know anything about you.
So you cherish your fear? You know better than that.
My dad,
Wow. I wanted to explain to her what we were doing so she wouldn't be worried about it.
Other than the fact that I do need a signature and a date in that box right there, yeah, it looks great.
he said that today, tonight have to be. He said that he said the date first of February.
The first day of February?
Yes.
So did you speak with the supervisor earlier?
No, I don't speak with the supervisor, I speak with the agent like
Okay.
you.
Can I see the tracking number? so I
Yes,
can
this is
pull
the
up that
tracking
information?
number.
I'll be right
My
back.
question is, how they can send a package, this truck number to Philadelphia, when the address 1411 Marine, Billings,
here in
Idaho,
town.
59109. I get it.
59109?
That's fine, you know.
59109.
Okay, thank you.
Well, let me,
Probably do some wrong thing.
We're not on it. Thank you.
This
let me pull up
way
the tracking
here.
number and image of the package itself and see what's going on, okay?
Que perdieron su carta.
Sí,
Sí.
sí.
¿Cómo así?
Dirección de aquí y la mandaron para Filadelfia según.
Tenía la dirección de acá, de esta ciudad, y lo mandaron para allá, para Filadelfia.
Está perdido y lo mandaron en toda noche.
Era algo costoso.
No, mi pasaporte.
Su pasaporte, y lo perdieron.
it's likely to be better.
¿Y qué te dicen? No saben lo...
It's gonna go
Mi padre fue allá de donde vive él y
batteries, power,
tiene una
Wow,
respuesta.
wow. No, es muy necesario hablar con un
Es lo que le estoy pidiendo.
supervisor o algo de eso, un manejero. Sí.
Muchas gracias.
Yo, sí, no. Imposible vivir en este país sin hablar español. ¿Verdad? O más difícil.
¿A dónde aprendiste?
Yo, bueno, es una historia larga,
Ok.
pero no, yo tenía muchos amigos cuando era chiquito y yo siempre quería hablar español porque yo crecí en una área con muchos hispanos. Y,
¿Aquí o dónde?
no, en New Jersey.
Oh, ok.
Sí,
Qué
Sí.
bueno, te felicito.
sí, no, muchas gracias. No, así puedo hablar con gente nice como usted, ¿verdad?
Gracias.
Gracias. Bueno,
A ver.
mucha suerte, a ver si
A ver.
a lo mejor tú sabes, te arreglan el problema.
Ojalá.
So he mailed his passport to an address here in Billings, and the post office sent it to Philadelphia for some reason.
Should grab a stamp before you forget.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you reminded me. I'm gonna get online before it gets too long here. Excuse me.
Husband wine, hearts by stamp?
Yeah, I need to buy a stamp. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, so I'll just talk to you after you're done then.
Oh no, I'll get back in line. That's no problem.
Okay. So I went and looked at the sign.
Okay.
What are your questions?
Well, that's why I wanted to go out there and show you. So you have your gate to your loading dock area, and employee parking wide open, right? And then there's a sign next to it that says USPS, no.
Yep, we're trying to replace that sign. We just have to reorder it.
Okay. Well, that's why we're here, to remind you to reorder
Yeah,
it. Because it's very important. That could create a liability issue for you. It could create a legal situation for somebody else.
Definitely.
People make mistakes. I actually just saw an elder woman today who went through a traffic circle and wound up going the wrong way on the wrong side of the road. And luckily there was a sheriff running radar right there, so he stopped all the traffic. So, confusion. It's just, so that's what we're here for, is to try to avoid those things
Yep,
from
I
happening.
actually did an inspection, or I walked around, I think it was during winter, Christmas or something, and I saw that those were faded out.
Did they get peeled off or they just faded?
They faded.
I thought they did. Yeah, it looked like they
so,
faded, yeah.
Yeah, I was aware of that, but thank you for pointing it out, and I have them on order, so. Yep, we're trying to replace that sign, we just have to reorder it.
All right, good. No, I appreciate that. And I also just want to thank you for having such a nice, clean flag flying outside. Not all the post offices do that.
They rip a lot fast, so, yep, luckily customers let us know that too.
That's good. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's exactly,
Because I'm
right.
not always up front, I'm usually in the back.
Right, I got you.
Yeah,
And you're the station manager for the whole station?
correct.
Cool. And I'm sorry, what was your first name?
Melissa,
Melissa. And Thor is
the supervisor?
supervisor of the carriers.
Right.
Okay, cool. Very cool. All righty. Well, I appreciate you taking a look at it. I know there's some of your employees might think that we're being foolish, but that sign was put up for a reason,
Yeah.
right? So if I'm being foolish about wanting to see it up properly, then whoever
Right.
decided to put it up is also the same fool.
Right.
So I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, and I guess you gotta just kind of look out their side too. They have a lot of people filming up just and putting it out there.
A lot of people do.
Filming, like, they let people.
Well, even more reason to be correct and cordial and behave yourself, right? I mean, when you're working in a public capacity, you kind of take that on voluntarily, right? Because there is private sector, and if you want to do that, then you can throw people out all day long, right? But you've been extremely professional, extremely courteous. I really appreciate it. That's the way these things should go.
Yeah,
No
definitely.
problems. And so you're fully aware that we are allowed to take video inside the post office. There's no problem. So I don't want you to embarrass anyone, but maybe after we leave and no one else is around, maybe let the people behind the counter know what the situation is.
Definitely, I just, I don't know if other people in line and stuff would like that, but.
Well, they're in public also, And what the problem is? Nobody wants to lose their rights. We all live in this country. We cherish our rights in this country, and we love living here because of our freedoms. So to start picking and choosing what freedoms people should have is kind of contrary to the point, I think. So I don't tend to tell people what they should be doing or what they shouldn't be doing. As long as you're not victimizing anybody and you're just living your life, I'm not even interested in what you're doing.
Right.
And that's the way it should be.
Yep, and as long as it's not disturbing anybody else.
Yeah, no, we don't even talk to anybody. But no, and I really can't tell you how much I appreciate you, because somebody, just as easily as somebody who starts barking can set off a forest fire, somebody like you can put it out.
Right.
And I appreciate that. So maybe they picked the right person for the job here at this post office. And seriously, thank you.
Thank you.
I really mean it.
Okay.
All righty. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello. You recognize us?
Yeah, I've been watching you on the internet, haven't I?
Have you? Good. Good. I'm glad you subscribed?
No,
No? So do you like what we do, or you watch it because you just laugh at us?
it's important.
It is important.
And
Good.
Aurora was awful.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Aurora,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
you showed me that.
Did you see Henderson, Nevada?
No,
Check that one out. Very interesting. It's my son, yes. Yep. Yep. Well, thank you for watching. We appreciate you.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Good, how are you?
And I'm glad you understand what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Oh, I think it's significant.
Good. Thank you. I wish more people would understand that, but people don't take the time to have the conversation, and it's a shame. It really is. People don't talk anymore. Unless you agree with everything they're saying, then they're happy to talk to you. You know? But I appreciate you very much. Thank you. Ooh, that guy had to go in the back room, where they put him under like the hot heat lamp and interrogate him about his package. How's it going, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
Doing good. Out here standing up for everybody's rights.
Yeah, I hear that. It's good, bro.
Yeah, we try. A lot of people don't understand, so we put ourselves in some hairy situations sometimes, but, you know, I think...
Everybody got an opinion, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what makes
Yeah,
it
that's
such
for,
a great...
yeah, exactly. And I think, you know, freedom's worth fighting for.
Yes, sir. You live in New Jersey, huh? Or you probably to the...
Originally from Jersey, yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, we lived in New York. It's a funny story. My aunt, my mother's sister, lived in Jersey. So my mother and my father went from New York to New Jersey to stay with my aunt for a few days, and my mother went into labor, and I was born in New Jersey. Lucky me, right?
Yeah.
No, it's just a shame, you know. And you know what? Even you, as just a citizen here doing your thing, it's just what we're trying to do is inspire people to think critically, and just think. So maybe this experience will remind you that maybe everybody that people who look like they're doing something, maybe they're not doing what you think they're doing,
Yeah.
and maybe don't jump to think negative so quick. And you know, not you. I'm just
Well,
saying.
no, yeah, I mean, that's the devil right now. You know?
What is?
The cameras.
No.
Like,
Don't.
Well, I'm saying, like, you know, for people.
Oh, for people. Yeah, you're right.
Go, you know, you see
Right. If I had a big 7 on here or something, everybody'd be fine with
Yeah,
it.
big camera, I'd be like, oh, well, I'm scared.
Yeah. Well, sunshine is the best disinfectant, right?
Yeah, it is.
No, and I appreciate you, man. Thank you for being cordial.
We should have got the same hardware store right there. Free service.
Oh yeah, look at that. Notice we reserve the right to refuse service to anyone. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Anything inside here that might be perishable, breakable, liquid, or potentially hazardous?
No.
And no lithium batteries for
No lithium batteries.
hit that button that says no.
So you know what, guys? I always
So we're gonna start over.
remind you that you have the opportunity to call up and complain if you see something that you don't like. I also want to remind you that the station manager here handled this situation extremely well. And if you would like to give her a call and let her know how much we appreciate her doing what she does, I'll leave that number in the description as well. So if you feel like letting her know, I invite you to do so. It's very important that we support our good employees out there.
Do you need a signature on this or anyone
Education, ding, ding, ding. Just told her not to give us any problems about filming. You just watched an education moment.
I guess it's too big for that. Some people just have more rights than others, it's fine.
Yeah.
Some people get more rights than others.
We all have the same rights, Matt.
Super, that's how I feel right now, like you're
Not at all.
enforcing yours on me. That's great.
Well, only because you weren't able to enforce your non-right on me.
Is that receipt, sir?
I'm not trying to do anything to you, sir, I just would appreciate you following the rules, which you're not. It's fine.
I'd appreciate you learning the rules, which you're not. Your station manager is very aware of the rules. Why don't you ask a question? Yeah, you too, buddy. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, I was next online. I need a stamp, please. And I'll take the receipt with that as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. You really are being silly.
I don't want my face out there. I don't want that. It's not nice for you not to ask for my permission first.
No, a lot of things.
That's actually quite rude.
A lot of things aren't nice.
And a lot of my customers
Matt,
are
your
very uncomfortable
your
with
entire
you
being
because
is rude, Matt.
Thank you for that.
You don't have to thank me.
I appreciate your consideration of others.
45 cents
Quite
to
evident.
you.
Thank you.
Let me get you that stamp.
Okay. And you look beautiful today. There's no reason to be hiding from the camera.
Thank you. There's that for you. And
Thank
your
you.
receipt is coming right up.
Matt, on the other hand, I don't know about that haircut, buddy.
You know,
Might wanna work
I
on
could-
that.
I could say same thing about you.
You get a
Except I don't have any hair left. I'm too old.
You have a wonderful day.
Thank you, dear. You too, and thank you very much. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Have a great afternoon. Thank you for stopping in.
I'll come see you after you have your conversation with your manager, Matt. You'll learn. So that's what you're dealing with. His station manager told him we're allowed to film in there, and he's still saying I'm violating the rules. Gotta love it. Well, that's how it goes, guys. Thank the powers that be here that we had a educated station manager here, not only about the taking video, but about the sign. She's got the sign on order. It is important. I might not personally think there needs to be that sign there. You might not personally think that, but that's the way it's set up. The sign was put there for a reason. If it's going to be taken down, it can be taken down, but I don't think anybody should just let it burn up in the sun and have words missing from it and create confusion. Not a good idea. Same thing with the employees in here. They should not be creating confusion. You saw what happened with the one older lady that was online here. She was fine. Everybody was fine until Matt decided to blow a fuse, and then the whole thing goes up. So that's the kind of thing that you have to watch out for, and you got to be careful that you don't wind up being the person that sets off an entire scenario because you got your feelings hurt. That's not right. You guys know how I am with older people. I'm very courteous with older people, and I think that comes from the close relationship I had with my grandmother growing up as a kid. She was a major impact on my childhood. And I have a lot of respect for older people, and I think they deserve a courtesy above and beyond what we deserve. But people like Matt just think that it's okay to rile her up, make her upset. Now the poor lady had to drive home upset. Who knows if, God forbid, she gets into an accident or something. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but it's true. You don't know what that poor old lady's going through. You don't know what her situation is. You don't know what anybody's going through, but especially the older folks. Be nice to the elders in this country or anywhere else. They deserve it. They earned it. But enough of my rant. So I always like to remind you guys before we end the videos that if you enjoy what we do, you want to support what we do, best way hands down for you to do that is to like, share, comment, subscribe. All those things get our videos out to more and more people, so more people can watch them, enjoy them, and hopefully learn a little something. I know I'm out here learning something every day, and that's it. So I also invite you to do the same for Watching a Watchman. Recently hit 50,000 subscribers. He's doing great. Does his own narrations on his videos. If you guys are interested in hearing what he's got to say, you got to check him out on his channel. I'll leave a link in the description. But that's it. So we're going to hop in the truck, head down the road, and see what else we could find for you. There's a little bit of daylight left. So coming to you from Billings, Montana, at the United States Post Office, Ronald Reagan Station, Watching a Watchman, Amagansett Press. We'll catch you on the next one, guys. Out.